How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to some more PokeRogue. We are starting off a brand new run in today's video, and first and foremost I just want to say that if you do hear some like whirring noises in the background, I do have my 3D printer going, currently printing off some bits and bobs for the trading card games that I do collect, so that is kind of the background noise. If you can hear it, I don't know how much you're going to be able to hear it, or if you're going to be able to hear it at all. But if you can, that is what's going on in the background. But regardless, let's get into choosing our Pokemon for this particular run. Now, with this run, I am probably going to select quite a few Pokemon that were in the run that got us to our highest floor level so far. And those were obviously Pawmi, Nidoran, and then I think I'm going to swap into a different Pokemon from there. But I want the Pawmi and Nidoran to have the best luck we can going forward in these runs, so those two are definitely being selected. So with Pawmi, obviously we do have a lot of fighting type moves. Nidoran does have a lot of poison type moves, but I am going to go ahead. I'm going to go with a Snivy. Now the reason I'm picking a Snivy, should I say, is I don't actually know exactly what these like purple circles are around the Pokemon. It did kind of tell me, and I've completely forgotten what they are, but we're going to take the Snivy anyway, just so we have a grass type Pokemon as well, and then hopefully we can go ahead and capture some Pokemon through this run that are going to help us in the future as well. But first and foremost, we do come up against a Spinarak. Excuse me. And we are going to use a Thundershock even into an Ice Punch to get rid of that Pokemon. Not really something I'm looking to add to the party, but we are definitely going to take this Candy Jar. That is 100% something that we want to go ahead and grab. We're not going to use, I'm not going to switch even the Pawmi, but we are going to switch into our Snivy here. We are going to go ahead and Drain Punch the Spearow, and then we'll probably just tackle into the C-Dot here. The Spearow almost goes down in one shot with the Drain Punch. Unfortunately, we don't end up finishing it off there, but we are just going to go ahead with a Thunder Shock, and again, we will tackle into the C-Dot with our Snivy. I do want to try and get Snivy leveled as much as possible. At the same time, I would also like to get Pawmi leveled as much as possible, as well as Nidoran, because I do want Nidoran to turn into a Nidoqueen at some point in this particular journey, and I would like to try and get as far as we can in this journey. So we've only got 5 Pokeballs at the moment, we haven't caught anything yet, but I'm going to take the berry for our Pawmi just in case it needs it for whatever reason. I'm kind of tempted to take this Pidgey if we don't knock it out, because it would be a flying type. Pidgeotto would be really nice for the team as well, so we do grab a good old what am I trying to say? We do grab a good looking Pidgey. I didn't see its IVs, I kind of skipped over that very quickly, but regardless, we are going to continue with a couple more double battles here. Even though we don't have lures, it looks like we are getting quite a few of the double battles right at the start of this run. Isn't ideal, because that means our Snivy does end up going down here, but we will take a Nidoran to bring out instead. And I think we are going to Ice Punch the Hoot Hoot, and we'll go ahead and hit Poison Sting on... actually, we won't Poison Sting, we'll scratch onto the Kricketot here. Now, obviously, we've never caught Hoot Hoot before, we won't be catching it in this run either, but it would be something that we need to look into potentially grabbing in the future. We will definitely take Quick Attack just in case we need that little bit of damage to finish off a fight in the future. And then Nidoran will knock out the Kricketot with a Scratch. So that is a lovely little win right there. We're not going to revive just here unless obviously it gave us a free revive, but we will go ahead and potion our Pawmi. Now the reason we didn't revive there is we do have the last Michelle fight to go through before we get any money from this run. So once we get a little bit of money from this run, I think we'll definitely go ahead and revive our Snivy, just so we do have the option to potentially use it against Ivy at floor 8. Because if she has something like a a water type, it would be very nice to be able to use our Snivy in that situation. We're going to take the big nugget here because it will replenish basically all the money that we just have gone ahead and used. and we will Drain Punch for our Pawmi. Obviously, the Gust isn't very effective, and we'll Drain Punch again. So, in this particular run, I'm going to try and make it as far as I possibly can, but also have my eggs hatching as well. We do have an epic egg that is in the background ready to hatch. We do have a Numal from this egg, who has now been added as a starter, and we do get Energy Ball as our egg move. IVs don't look terrible, but the max HP could be better, but I'm not going to complain too much. It is a brand new Pokemon for us. Oh, okay, so Pachysuru, I don't know how to pronounce this Pokemon's name, but the IVs look really good apart from the speed, and this Pokemon has been a terror over on the Card Breaking Gamers channel even. If you haven't checked out our videos there, be sure to do so. There'll be a link in the description to our channel there. Do have a Pansear here. Again, IVs aren't the greatest on this Pokemon. Do have Scorching Sands as an egg move. And then last but not least, we do have an Aron from an egg, which actually isn't a bad Pokemon to grab. The speed is absolutely insane on the Aron there as well. And the IVs over everything else are actually quite good as well. So we do have that now as a starter as well with Head Smash. So I will take that. That is lovely to see. I'm going to go ahead and max Ether on Pawmi here. I'm pretty sure I just put that on Ice Punch, which wasn't quite what I was looking to do, but it is what it is. So we have obviously a Grass and a Fairy, so it's weak against Poison, Steel, as well as Bug, Ice, Fire, Poison, and Flying. We have an Ice Punch that we've just restored the PPs on for Cottonly here, so excuse me, so we'll go ahead and use that to try and get through there. I'm not going to take Charge, I don't think, because it does go ahead and boost the power of electric type moves, but I think we are okay with everything we have right now. Obviously, I would have liked to have max Ethered the Drain Punch, but I kind of clicked the buttons a little bit too quickly, which is why I went onto Ice Punch. But yeah, Charge is something we're not going to take here. Rare Candy is definitely something we want to take, but then also we could grab an Ether for free, but I think we'll grab an Ether and add that to Drain Punch, but then we'll grab a Rare Candy and slap that onto our Snivy even. So as I say, our Ivy there, but my brain was like, oh, we've got Ivy in the next floor, which, lo and behold, she has appeared. So then, what do you have for us in this run, Ivy? Anything interesting? So you do actually have a Water type. Obviously, Pawmi has got the electric type move of Thunder Shock, meaning that we can get through Sobble fairly easily there. So there was no need to actually swap into Ivy regardless. We do have a Tailo here though. I'm just going to Ice Punch. Thankfully, we do get through the Flying type with the Ice Punch because it is weak against Ice type moves. So Ivy was pretty straightforward right there. So we will take that. It's not like she had a Skarmory like she did in one of our previous videos. That was a pain in the ass to get through. I am going to go ahead and potion my Pawmi, but I'm going to grab the Great Balls here. Do have a Pidove, again, we just smash that with Ice Punch just to get through there. And then we do have our first boss Pokemon to worry about next. But we are going to take the Rare Candy. As much as I'd love to have Nidoqueen, I would like to try and get Snivy to the next evolution as quickly as possible. We do have a Grass type Pokemon here. Again, we can just go ahead and use our Ice Punch on the Sunkern, meaning we can just go ahead and get that knocked out in two attacks essentially, and everything does get itself healed up off the back of that particular fight, which is lovely. So we are now into 11 to 20. We are in the plains. I think the plains do, or most of the time, mean that we get a lot of normal type Pokemon, much like the first few floors. If we find a Zigzagoon, we might be tempted to pick that up. But right here, we'll take the Big Nugget for a bit more money, and then we'll go ahead even and Ice Punch the Starly to get that knocked out fairly swiftly. Pawmi does grow up to level 11, and I'm going to take another berry and slap that onto him again. Ice Punch this Pidgey, we can get rid of that fairly easily. Nidoran is now level 7, Pidgey level 6. So right here, I'm going to top up on my Pokeballs. We could have obviously taken the item, I think it was like X attack potentially, I can't remember. But right now I think we are pretty much okay with getting through this particular trainer. The Charmander wasn't really too much of an issue. We do have Nuzzle. Nuzzle is weaker than Thunder Shock. However, it guarantees the paralysis, whereas Thunder Shock doesn't. I think it's worth us taking Nuzzle. I didn't take it last run, and I feel like some of the fights we got into, it was going to be quite helpful to have Nuzzle. So I think we will take it this time around just to see if it makes a difference. If we get a Memory Mushroom a little bit further down the line, then happy days. We can always get it back if required. I'm going to go ahead and Ice Punch the Voltorb, I think, here. Because it is super effective against its grass typing. Can't remember what region that Voltorb's from, because normally it's just straight up... normally it is straight up... what am I trying to say? It's straight up electric type. So I can't remember what region it's from to have the grass type there as well, but we got through the Voltorb anyway, as well as the next Pokemon. And then we do have a Gulpin, which is poison, so it is weak against ground and psychic. Unfortunately, we don't actually have a ground or psychic type move on any of our Pokemon, I don't think, so that's a little annoying. But we will quick attack here just to get the trainer fight done and dusted. So we are going to take Dig, and I'm going to take Dig over Quick Attack. It's the normal swap that I make. I just feel that Quick Attack is going to be less helpful than Dig the further on we get in this run, especially with Dig being a ground type move, so we can use it against Electric, Rock, Fire, Steel and Poison. So it could have been, or would have been, very nice to have against the Gulpin as the last Pokemon there, but it is what it is. I think we might just take the free potion here. In fact, that's exactly what we are going to do. And we do actually find a Zigzagoon. Okay, so we're not going to swap Pokemon, but we are going to Nuzzle here. Make sure it's paralyzed, and then we're going to throw a Pokeball and hope it has Pickup, which it does. Lovely stuff. I do like to see that. Meaning that we have a potential of picking up items at the end of battles. Pokeballs are fairly low, but I think the potion we don't really need. I don't want the lure, so we are going to take the Pokeballs. Have a Young Goose as the next Pokemon here, so Drain Punch that to be able to replenish that particular HP anyway, or almost all of the HP once it gets there. Okay, it is all of the HP, lovely. The IV Scanner definitely is the play here. Another Young Goose. We are not going to swap out the Pokemon, but we are at the level cap for these floors, meaning that the rest of my Pokemon are going to gain all of the XP from this particular, like the battles up until the boss. We are going to stop trying to teach Tail Whip on the Nidoran. I need that to try and have as many moves that are going to help us as possible. Don't really want Charm, as much as Charm will potentially be quite nice. I don't really want to teach it to Pawmi. Nidoran maybe, and Zigzagoon possibly, but we're not really going to be using Zigzagoon as the as an attacking type Pokemon. He's essentially just there to go ahead and grab us some items on the floor, if at all possible. We'll take the X speed here because we are coming up to a boss fight. We're not going to use the IV scanner on stuff we're not going to look to capture. There's just no need, in my personal opinion. And we do have a decent chunk of XP going to the rest of our Pokemon. So, Max Ether. If I take this on Pawmi, we'll put that onto Drain Punch, just in case we have any sort of need for that move. But it looks like we should be okay just getting through this particular gym leader with Ice Punch, because it's a grass type leader, meaning that both Pokemon are going to have grass type moves even. And then we will go ahead and Ice Punch once again, and we do get through floor 20 fairly easily. So next thing we need to worry about is obviously Ivy at floor 25. So if we get some reasonable like X speeds, X attacks, that kind of stuff, and we don't have better options to take, i.e. like IV scanners and Mega Bracelets and all that kind of stuff, then we will go ahead and grab them. Oh, Ducklet, we haven't actually caught a Ducklet yet. Let's IV scan this. So special attack is at its best, which is actually nice to see. We are going to Nuzzle here, which does paralyze the Ducklet, and we are just going to throw a Great Ball, because I don't think we actually have any form of water type Pokemon right now, so having a water flying is huge, and those IVs look absolutely incredible as well. So I'm really happy about catching that Pokemon. it will add a bit of extra coverage for our team. Not going to worry too much about growth on Snivy. So right here, like X special defense is probably the best play to go. We will just use a normal potion on the Pawmi, and we will grab a super potion for Ducklet. But we will then grab the X special defense. Slowpoke is another Pokemon we have not caught yet. It's not bad IVs from what I can tell from that. We will Nuzzle. Isn't very effective, but we have paralyzed the Pokemon. So it is part Psychic, so fighting it's good against, but Bug, Dark, and Ghost. So we didn't actually have any of those. I'm trying to get it to a point where it'll be catchable, which is why I'm using like attacks that aren't going to do too much damage. And then we'll go ahead and Great Ball. So we do have a Slowpoke. The IVs aren't great right there. We're not going to be adding it to our party because that is just terrible in terms of the IV side of things. But at least we have it now as a starter, and if we capture more, the IVs will grow for us. But all of our Pokemon are gaining some levels, which is always nice to see. It means that we'll have options. Kind of want to see if it's worth taking Headbutt. It probably is over Tail Whip, I would imagine. Obviously, Covert allows us to potentially steal items, so if we do bring Zizzagoon out and it can get an attack off, and the opposing Pokemon has an item, we could potentially go ahead and grab that item off of that Pokemon. And this free fall heal is definitely what we're taking, because Pawmi is asleep, and we do not want this Pokemon to be asleep. So next up, we have a Surskit as the Pokemon opposing us. It's weak against Fire, Flying, and Rock type moves. We don't actually have any of those, so we'll go for a Nuzzle. Excuse me, and then I think we're going to go for a Drain Punch just to get a bit of health back on our Pawmi, because it was at 23, and we do have the Pawmi evolving now as well, which is lovely. So we now have a Pawmo. Wants to learn Arm Thrust. I am going to go ahead and have a look at Arm Thrust. It's not as good as Drain Punch, because obviously Drain Punch heals us. I think we're not going to take it for this run. If we still had like Quick Attack rather than Dig, it would be a option, but the Fighting, Electric, Ground, and Ice type moves has fairly nice coverage for us, as I have been saying in like previous videos, so we're not going to worry about Arm Thrust. That can stay where it is. Obviously it could be a very good move considering it hits multiple times, but I think it's going to be worth us going ahead and not learning it. So we're going to take the Hyper Potion and add that to Pawmo. Obviously we could have taken the Pokeballs, but we didn't. We'll have a quick look at the IV scanner on here. So it's not as good as the Ducklet that we have. We are not switching out Pokemon because the Flying is weak against both Ice and also Electric. We will Nuzzle, and we do instantly knock out there, so that is lovely to see. Bite is Dark, which is good against Ghost and Psychic, but I don't think there's any need for us to take that on Pawmo. I think we're okay with what we have, so I'm going to leave the moves as they are for the time being. Again, Memory Mushroom will help us get that back if we need it. And as we are just about to go into a battle with Ivy, we will take the X accuracy here. But we do have 3 Pokemon to get through this time around, so we will see what Ivy has in store for us. So obviously Drizzile, we can go ahead and we can hit a good old Nuzzle there, meaning it will instantly paralyze. Downside is it does go ahead and hit us with a lovely move for dealing damage. I think we're going to go ahead and Dig here. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and Dig is solely because it allows us to get a hit in prior to our Pawmo going down. So it should hopefully make this fight fairly swift and easy. Obviously, the Drizzile being taken out isn't ideal because Flying is weak against Electric, Ice, and Rock. And we don't have any particular Pokemon that has those types of moves. I am going to send out our Ducklet because it is a fairly nice Pokemon to have in this situation, I feel like. We'll go with Water Pulse. We are paralyzed, which is not ideal, and Frustration knocks us out. Okay, this fight has become very annoying very, very quickly here. Really? Sandsear Storm does not affect him. Okay, we won't use that in that case. We're going to have to go with Poison Sting, I think, and hope for the best with our Nidoran. Having that poison is going to be very, excuse me, very handy, but Frustration does knock us out. Okay. Once again, it looks like Ivy being in this kind of position is not going to be ideal for us. COVID does take this Taillow down to a very low amount of health, meaning the poison from Poison Sting does end up knocking it out. So that is always nice to see. We have a couple of berries on our Zigzagoon as well. Tatsugiri, okay. So Dragon type are obviously weak against Ice, Dragon and Fairy. We have no moves that are going to help us with obviously the super effective side of things. There are no items on this particular Pokemon, but we are just going to have to see what we can get done. And unfortunately, excuse me, unless Pidgey can come out and be insanely good right here for us, which it doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, I don't know whether Gust would have done more damage there. It probably would have. I just wanted to get the attack off first, but unfortunately, once again, Ivy proves too much for us at floor 25. It's like we have gone backwards in terms of our runs on PokeRogue, which is a little bit annoying. But what I am going to do is I'm going to start a brand new run and continue going through with that run until we reach the 30-minute mark in this video, because I do want to try, if I can, and get this epic egg hatched and unlocked. So we are, once again, as I said before, going to go with our 2 shinies because it should help with the luck side of things, and 1 and 2. But then I think we are going to bring, yeah, we'll bring Abra as our 3rd Pokemon. We don't necessarily have to bring another Pokemon, but we could technically bring our Paris if we wanted to, but the IVs on this aren't the greatest, I don't think. So we're just going to go ahead and get into this run here. Fairly similar team, but we do have Abra instead of the other Pokemon we took in the previous run. But the main reason I want to do this is I want to try and get our epic egg done and dusted. Definitely going to take the map here. The map is 100% what we want in this situation. We don't have anything that's super effective here, but we will just go ahead and Ice Punch, which will be enough to get rid of the Whirlpool. So we will take a Great Ball. So we do have another Nidoran here, which is interesting. We're not going to swap out. It is a Poison type, and I can't remember if we've got anything. We don't have anything that's super effective, but we will go ahead and hit that, and then we will see if we can capture. We can, lovely. So the IVs don't improve for the Nidoran we have, which is the whole reason why I wanted to grab this particular Nidoran. We'll probably end up getting rid of that Nidoran if I'm perfectly honest. Normal type again. We will go ahead and Drain Punch. So we could actually throw out a Pokeball here. Okay, so Tandemaus does not want to stay in that Pokeball. Doesn't want to stay in that one either. There we go. Finally got a Tandemaus into the ball. Didn't really check his IVs there. I should have spent a little bit more time. We are going to take the Quick Attack as per usual. And then here we are 100% taking that XP. That is a very nice item to find this early in the run. Lillipup into our Pawmi means that it is a straight up Drain Punch. Gets our health back to full, and also it means that we've 1-hit KO as well. But yeah, I'm trying to see how far I can get in this run up to the 30-minute mark, but also want to see if I can try and get the what am I trying to say? The epic egg hatched as well. We'll take the X special attack here. We do have a Pidgey up in front of us. Do we want to take this potentially? Okay, we don't end up. There wasn't really anything I could use there. Maybe the Drain Punch would have kept the Pidgey alive, but I just don't think there was anything that we could use there that was going to be super handy. But we are going to take the rare candy for Abra, because if we can get that healed up to full as quickly as possible, not healed up, sorry, evolved up to at least Kadabra fairly quickly, then we'll be in a good spot. But we are going to take the X speed for the Ivy fight here. Let's see what she has. So she has Rowlet off Rip, so we are just going to hit an Ice Punch here. We are not going to use Charge. It's one move that I will probably not end up taking ever. But that was probably the easiest IV floor 8 fight that I've had in a while. I say that as if like she's done me dirty the past 2 times or a few times on floor 8. She hasn't. It's floor 25. So that is the one that we need to try and get through if we can. But we have now got 2 XP alls. Gonna take Great Ball here. Oh, Ditto would be such a nice Pokemon to grab. I'm not going to grab it just solely because it is very difficult to catch. I tried catching it in a previous run and I think I wasted a handful of balls trying to catch that particular Pokemon. But yeah, we're not going to worry too much about that. We can go ahead and potentially use a potion here, but I think it's just going to be... Actually, I will take a potion just because I don't really want to be taking double battles if I can help it. And then we will go ahead and hit another Drain Punch to get rid of the Whismur, meaning that we are now through the first 10 floors fairly swiftly as we were before. And we get everything healed up as well, which is lovely to see. Next up is a Poochyena, so I think we keep in the Paw Me for Drain Punch here. Abra to level 8, lovely to see. Definitely taking the Reviver Seed, that's going to be huge. We will Ice Punch to Fletchling. Tandem Mouse, everything basically is gaining levels, which is lovely to see. We could use Flash, which lowers accuracy, but I don't think we're going to end up using that particular move. So we'll keep that like out of our move set. But next up, I think it might be worth taking the Dire hit here, potentially, just to have it. So we will do that. Lechonk, we can be Drain Punched, so Paw Me once again will regain some health here. Abra's now up to level 9, Tandem Mouse at level 8. We do want to get rid of, that Egg Voucher Plus is definitely what we're taking here. Would I switch for the Zubat? No, I will not. I will Ice Punch this Zubat. But I'm going to go ahead and pull my eggs in just a moment's time. So Nuzzle isn't too bad of a move, so we are going to swap that out for the Quick Attack this time around. So at least this way we'll have Nuzzle, which guarantees paralysis, and then we'll have Thunder Shock that will be able to follow up with damage if needed. We'll take the Great Balls. So we have an Ace Trainer here with a Score Bunny, which is obviously a Fire type, which is strong against obviously Ice, so can't really use Ice here. We're going to use Nuzzle though. And then we will use Drain Punch against the Score Bunny, just to keep our Paw Me at a healthy amount of HP for the rest of this fight. Lovely level ups here on our Pokemon too. We have a Shinx, which is electric, so it's obviously weak against ground. But we will go ahead and just hit our Drain Punches, just because, as I said, we want to keep Paw Me as healthy as possible for these fights. Tail Whip on the Nidoran is not going to happen. Obviously, we have another Nidoran which learns the Tail Whip, but we do want to get rid of that Nidoran if possible. So we do have a part Psychic here, which is actually really strong against our Pokemon. I'm going to hit an Ice Punch just to see... Did it snap out? It snapped instantly out of Confusion, which is lovely to see. And then Drain Punch gets us through this trainer, so that's awesome. I will take that every day of the week. We're currently coming up to the 30-minute mark, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish these last 4 floors to get through this little section of the run. I'm also going to pull my eggs in just a moment's time. We can use I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and use this potion, and then we'll Ether on Paw Me to the Drain Punch. Not switching out Pokemon, but before we do anything, we are going to go ahead and pull some more eggs. So I think, as we had an epic from the Legendary machine, we're going to go ahead and pull from the Shiny machine again. I'd love to see some more Shinies. I'd love to see maybe even an epic from here. but a rare would definitely do. There is one rare. Come on, epic. Just a normal common, but that's fine. We will take those. So we'll just get through the last 3 levels, and then we'll round up this video from there. Obviously, we do have 2 Nidorans right now, one of which we do want to get rid of. I'm going to take the X attack, and we'll Drain Punch the Bidoof to get rid of that. I have a strong feeling we might come up against another gym leader, but I'm not 100% sure on that side of things. Dig-wise, we're going to get rid of Thunder Shock rather than Nuzzle, because I want that guaranteed paralysis if we can, to be able to obviously paralyze other people's Pokemon. PP Max apparently increases PP for 1 Pokemon move by 3 for every 5 maximum PP. Definitely poor me, and I think we'll go with our Drain Punch, because that's been putting in work for us right now. So we'll hit the Drain Punch right here, and then we are into the boss for these 10 floors. Definitely want Super Fang on Tandemaus. We'll take that over. I kind of want to keep Help in Hand just in case we do start getting more battles, which are obviously, what am I trying to say, with another Pokemon. So I think we take it over Pound. I think that's the play here. Oh, Thunder Punch. Gotta take Thunder Punch. We can't teach it to Pawmi? Seriously? Why not? That's so strange. Like, I'll give it to Abra for sure, but not being able to have Thunder Punch on Pawmi is really weird to me. Okay, so Lopunny is our next Pokemon that we come up against. Once again, we are going to go ahead and Drain Punch here. And we will hit another Drain Punch because the Reviver Seed keeps us alive. Not quite where we want the Reviver Seed to be used, but regardless, we get through the Lopunny there. And everything else does level up off of the back of getting the XP. Everything being at level 12 bar the Pawmi, which is at 16. And we get another XP charm. So we do have a choice here of where we want to go. And I think to try and get through these next levels, we go with the lake. Because we do have a couple of Pokemon with electric type moves, which will help us get through this fairly easily. But other than that, guys, we are going to call this particular video here. So let me just go ahead to save and quit. And then that is going to do it for today's video. So unfortunately, we didn't actually see the epic egg hatch today, but we did get a few more eggs that are currently in the works of being hatched from the shiny machine. So hopefully in the video tomorrow we'll see that epic egg hatch, and we'll see what we end up getting from that epic egg as well. But regardless, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like rating and subscribe to the channel for more content. In the description down below, I'll leave links to all my social media as well as the other channels I have here on YouTube. If they haven't already got some content on them, they will have some content very, very soon. That I do promise, because I have gone ahead and recorded quite a bit of content for those channels over the past few days to get those ready for content being uploaded to them. I also have my joint channel with a good friend Ricky in the description as well. If you want to go and check that out, that'd be greatly appreciated also. But regardless of that, guys, I appreciate watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.